In this video, we're going to be getting familiar with the brackets interface. To follow along at home, just make sure you have brackets open, and we're going to be looking at the various parts of the interface. On the left is the project bar. The project bar shows a list of files that you have in your project, as well as a list of files that you currently have open. Here in this example, we have a file, index.html, which is open. The circle next to it indicates that there are unsaved changes to this file. Clicking the X next to a working file will close the file. You'll see a prompt asking you if you want to save the changes. Now this file has been removed from our working files. To add main.css in the demo to the working files, all we have to do is double-click it. Now it's been added to our working files. If I look at a different file, I can go back to main.css by accessing it from working files. Here, under the working files, is the name of the project. This Getting Started project is the default project that comes with brackets. If you click the arrow, you'll see an option to open a folder and add a new folder to brackets. Now I've added a new folder to my brackets project. Here is a list of all the files in this folder. I can open any of them in brackets by clicking it. If I click one of these arrows next to a grayed out title, it is a folder, and the contents of the folder will be revealed. I can switch between different projects that I've recently opened by clicking them on the arrow. If I wish to remove a project from my available fast projects, I can do so with the X button. If I wish to split the editor, I can click this icon at the top right. I can select a vertical split, which will split my screen into two tall sections, a horizontal split, which will split my screen into two wide sections, or no split, which will be the default setting. Next, we'll have a look at the File menu. Here is a list of options that we can use to help build our projects. The File drop-down contains numerous options related to saving. Edit allows us to do many functions that edit the text we're working on. Find contains abilities to find, replace, and find in project, which are also available through hotkeys. View allows us to change various display settings, as well as the split that brackets is displaying. We can also change our themes in the view. Brackets comes with two themes by default, light and dark. We'll stick with light for now. Navigate allows us to do a few cool things, like opening documents and going to the next document. Quick Docs is an interesting feature which allows you to view documentation on supported languages, such as CSS. We'll explore Quick Docs in a later tutorial. The Debug panel contains numerous options we can use to debug code, specifically front-end code like JavaScript. We will also explore this in a future tutorial. The Help menu contains some links, as well as community links to various other resources to help you learn brackets. I encourage you to use the Help menu if you need additional assistance in working with brackets. On the right are three special buttons to use different features of brackets, which we'll be exploring in later tutorials. The first one, Live Preview, will generate a live preview of the code that you're working on. Extension Manager will help you manage the extensions that you've installed and install new extensions. Extensions are also known as plugins, and we'll explore this in a later tutorial. The third option, Extract for Brackets, is an Adobe special option that integrates with other Adobe softwares. We won't be looking into Extract for Brackets in this tutorial. If you have a file open, there are additional options on the bottom of the screen. On the left, you can see the line number and the column number of the cursor, as well as the size of the files. Next, you have an option to enable or disable insert. If insert is not enabled and over is, if I type, you'll notice that the text disappears as I type. Most people find this very confusing, but it can be very useful if you know what you're doing. To the right of this is the language that this file is. By changing the selected language, we can change the code completion that it offers. To the right of that is a special context menu that will change based on what language you have open. We'll explore this in future tutorials. Finally, you can adjust your spaces and tabs at the bottommost right of the bracket screen. That's about it for the brackets interface. It is a powerful and handy interface, and we'll be exploring much more about it in future tutorials.